you know, and now the important thing that we really have to look at is that word again, boxing. The first thing that anybody will see when they begin on a career or a lifestyle of the combat sciences is learning how to use one's hands. If I'm not mistaken, I think the term that is used with boxing is called the sweet science. That's interesting. The sweet science. Wow. So here we have an art is to use one's mind and one's body in tandem to neutralize an opponent. Sweet science. Okay. So, mixed martial arts, if the sweet science is boxing, then what is mixed martial arts? It is boxing, another one of those, remember I said that they're not kicking or not involved, but if we took kick and put it with boxing, we now have kickboxing, which is considered martial arts. It's no longer boxing, but still it's that fundamental aspect of it. Here we have, we attack and movements to be able to operate in a guard, defend from the bottom, and attack from the top. Wrestling sounds a lot like grappling to me. To direct an attack on an opponent, right there. Okay, now if we add that with wrestling, then that becomes shoot wrestling. So these are combinations. To escape from an opponent, to break a grip, that's a whole nother art form. So we have all these things start off maybe would have become martial or now mixed martial arts as we know it. Then finally to look at to sustain or neutralize an opponent. Okay, how do we do that? From the ground. That means we use a sprawl. So this is all vocabulary, terminology that you really wonder, even though somebody says it, can they do it? Do they know how to use it effectively with not getting hurt? You know, especially our youth. They can quote a lot of stuff. They've taken a lot of things like martial arts and even made it into a dance. We have our break dancing. So we want to look at this. In the forum that you'll see coming up next, what I tried to do was find instructors, board certified participants, referees, officials from boxing here in the United States, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, South America, to come in and talk about roles also of their colleagues such as trainers. No offense to the promoter. I'm not saying that promoters haven't been in the ring. But is it possible to promote an art form not having done the sport? Do we know all the safety factors with it? I would be, I mean, it's kind of like having somebody run an Alcoholics Anonymous group who's never had a drink, who hasn't the slightest idea of what it's like to be drunk and a hangover in the morning. What are we looking at here? The support services. Oh, there are a lot. Teachers, the medical profession. I had a medical specialist there, talked about the neck. Governing bodies, the commissioners, law enforcement. They're the ones who have to deal with those activities that may start off in the little neighborhood or in the basement. Some children are in the basements doing what we call now mixed martial arts. And community, our faith-based community. We need the help from ministers to be to be aware of what's going on with our youth. This is how some of them may even be taking out their aggression and their anger. So we're asking imams and rabbis, everybody, to, if they come in with some unusual bruises, what are they doing? Are they getting quality training? Okay, questions. What are the Askari program? I had the interns compile some questions. So I'm going to run through them very quickly. What's the financial benefit to a major city? I won't even touch on that. To having MMA events, money is a big thing. Should there be a standard MMA curriculum, such we have in the martial sciences or in boxing? Pretty across the board. How many martial arts combat should a person be proficient in to be called a mixed martial artist? Should they be able to wrestle, grapple, punch, kick, or is it a limit? What are the top used arts in MMA that people with? Taekwondo, judo, jiu-jitsu, what are the top ones? And should they always be the top ones? For years, certain things are not allowed. Why is that? Because there's a governing body that makes that decision. I'm not going to say that's right or wrong, but we need to look at this. Is MMA the new combat sport? Revision of is this just like New Age gladiators, Coliseum, boxing in the wall? I think boxing used to go on until somebody just didn't get up. Should there be a limit to the number of years that an individual does MMA? I mean, it's brutal. You have a lot of incredible strikes to the body. What are the major injuries in MMA? Is it just neck? Is it spine? Should the MMA have their own commission board? Not going to get into that one. Then associations. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who is the UFC to the MMA? Are these kind of like brand name people? And then, of course, should women be encouraged to do MMA? I mean, it can be, it's almost on the level of football. Should there be unified equipment for training, curriculum, professionals, even especially amateur levels? And then, my question, ultimately, who is the governing body? Now, since I started this research, I have found so many people who've told me, well, I'm the authority in MMA, and if you don't come and belong to my association, then you can't be in mixed. Well, who said so? If you have 20 different associations all saying I'm the one, then who really is the one? Is there a book? Is there a manual? These are important because our youth, our society, is going to be affected by aggressive and sometimes very violent activities because people like thrills. They like to see this. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to kind of leave it alone. And let's watch the forum and see what was said. And these are grand patriarchs. These are people who have been in the sport 30, 40 years, who met right here in the District of Columbia from 9 different states. Okay? So thank you at least for listening to me, and feel free to contact me. AskariForever.com or jinyame@yahoo. Yabo? Alright. Take care. Peace.